What's up, y'all? Here at the Foundry. Gonna do the second one. This is number 2.
And it goes a little something like this. Hi, my name is Joe, and well, you probably haven't heard of me. I wanted to be your rapper, so I got some neurosurgery.
I'm working on these projects. This is a project I'm working on for this guy named Bill Gold. It's kind of he's an architect, I guess. He works for architects or something like that. It's kind of a dragging on commission, but it's kind of a cool project. So he wants, I built in these forms or these flowers that are based off a larger sculpture that he built. And then, over time he's decided now that he wants these, internal pieces added to it, which is, it's a little bit of work, but it's not too bad. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting this stuff in. On top of that, I've been thinking a lot about, our first talk the other day, and thought there's some cool stuff that I could elaborate on. I feel like a lot of people look at my stuff and they only are familiar with my ceramic work, or they're familiar with only my metal work, and I feel like there's definitely a broad spectrum of materials that I use and where they go and how they're being used. But I do feel like every medium has its purpose. I do a lot of metal work because I think metal speaks to different values and different things, versus ceramics, especially porcelain. Again, I have to reiterate that porcelain itself is a ceramic body that I most identify with. I don't really enjoy working with other ceramic, other clays, basically. I think porcelain's kind of like that fine tip pencil, when all the other ones just kind of seem like, I don't know if I would say blunt instruments or fat tip markers is kind of what they're like, but for me they just don't do what porcelain does. I feel like there's a level of detail that you can get with porcelain, as well as a cultural heritage that comes down with the value and the basically the time it takes to get porcelain to do things, and the process of risk that goes through it when it's on a kiln and it's being fired. Whereas metal is kind of a little bit more freeing than any of the other mediums in that I can cut it, I can weld it, I can put two things back together. I think, to be honest, metal is probably the one that I enjoy working with the most. Now, most of my work probably ends up being porcelain or ceramic because I think a lot of it talks into these details about permanence and things like that. But the metal work, I think, has always been there. And the fabrication skills of metal and things like that, I think, are something that really, really influence my work. I can't really talk about this piece in particular because this isn't really my art. This is just fabrication. But I think I'll show you some examples probably later on of some of the metal work that I've done or that I'm doing, and kind of give you a concept and a little bit idea of like, oh, this is what's going on. He's not totally crazy. He has an idea, all these kinds of things like that. But I just don't want people to put me in a box, basically. I guess, I don't know. I guess I'm doing art, so I guess I'm already in a box, but I don't want you to put me in that box. So just stay tuned, I'll show you what I'm working on. In the meantime, I'll get this welder set up. Somehow, some way, I put my steel away. I don't know where it went. So I might have to make a run to Home Depot and pick up some more steel, because I need to get this project done by 9 a.m. tomorrow, and it is, it's 5:05 Monday. So, stay tuned. I'll be back.
Check the fluid rhyme, it's the truest. I'm spitting lyrics so influenced by sublime, and I'm inclined to handle the mic with positivity and solid energy, spit with the spirit of the kid in me. I'm pretty young, but I've been through a little bit, seen a little too much, and lost a big chunk of my innocence. I vow never to be a fucking lyrical hypocrite, never rap about stacking bills or the number of chicks I get, but I'm unsigned, and therefore I'm illegitimate writing these words to myself, cause probably no one to hear this shit. I mean, some people might hear it, really, who's gonna listen? Out to get myself in with this underground competition. Don't need the fame or the money, the media recognition. I need the people to feel me the way I do when I listen. I'm doing